This is a Dutch-built aluminium 30-metre super yacht. This is built by Lowland Yachts in Holland, and this is a really lovely yacht. What's nice about this in particular, and you'll see it as soon as we go inside, is just how cosy and comfortable it feels. It's not run as a charter boat, it's a family-run boat. And I was talking to the owner earlier, and he was explaining to me how when they bought this, when he saw the interior, it was that which sold it to him, and I'll show you that as we go inside. It's had a refit in 2018. All this is actually composite teak, so it's completely maintenance free. That was all done. There's been carpeting done, there's been upholstery done, also new engines as well, which is important of course in a boat of this age. But we're going to do the full tour. We're going to do the aft deck, as you can see here. We're going to do all of the interior, we're going to do the crew areas, the engine space, the lot. And this is what I mean about what a cozy boat this is. Look at that. That is so lovely. It's a complete antithesis of all this sort of modern, super sharp, super trendy styling. This is proper little ship stuff. This is the kind of thing you come down to, not for a week, but for 3 months. I mean, it's just lovely, absolutely lovely. This has been reupholstered in here. There's various bits and pieces done. So this teak was all redone on the table, for example. In actual fact, the owner was saying there wasn't an awful lot that was done here because it was in such good condition already. So the carpet, for example, wasn't changed at that point because it didn't need it. There's a bar area here. Another interesting thing to mention actually is, I think I'm right in saying, she's a 92 boat, and I think she's had 3 owners and they've all had over 10 years. So 92 to 2002, 2002 to 2012, and the current owners had over 10 years as well. So it's been a boat that hasn't changed hands. People have bought it and kept it, and you can see why. Love this little dining area up here. I'm really taken with this. This is all storage along here. I won't open them all obviously because there's so many of them, but you get the idea. So all your bits and pieces can be put away all the way through, all the way along here. If we carry on forward again, it's quite an unusual layout in some respects, because on a 30-metre boat, side access door here, you normally get a main deck owner's cabin. This one's a bit different because what they've done with this, and I will show you the day heads as we're walking past. You've got the raised pilot house. We will come to that, of course, a bit further on in the tour. But this, from this doorway forward, is all crew area. So it's a really nice size, a very comfortable boat for the crew. And in fact, this one's run by 2 crew. The skipper and his wife run this. As I say, it's not chartered, so they're not sort of plagued with regular changes of bedding and that kind of thing in quite the same way. So they run this very happily. And a nice big galley area here, and also the routing is good because you're straight out onto the side of the boat. You can come and go as you please without having to go through the saloon if you don't want to. Again, you get sort of the feeling of the time on board by the fact there's so much cooling. So you've got refrigeration here, you've got all that refrigeration over there. Another interesting thing, this is a small point, but it's an interesting one, is the fact you often see dishwashers, but you don't often see full-size dishwashers. So that's a proper domestic full size. It just makes life a little bit more comfortable for the crew. Trash compactor down there as well. And then this is things like, obviously you can see the microwave is here. You've got the hob and the oven, and just a load of storage everywhere. The captain of this one was saying to me that this is the first boat that he has skippered where he's not managed to fill all the storage areas. Apparently there's so much storage on this boat, it's incredible. There's a nice mess area here as well. So again, you know, if you're doing a long cruise, if you're on this boat for a month or 2 and your crew on this boat for a month or 2, then this gives them a really comfortable area. And in fact, down here as well, it's been modified because this originally had 3 crew cabins, and what they've done is taken one of them out and made one much larger. So the skipper and his wife, captain and his wife, have this one. This was originally 2, but it's now 1. So it's a really good size. If I come all the way back here, that's a very decent cabin with a lot of storage all the way down here. You've got wardrobes around here, not going to open everything because obviously it's their own private area, but you get the idea. And then if we come around again, there is in fact another crew cabin, and it's not used as a crew cabin because, as I say, it is just the 2 crew that operate it. So this is just all storage in here, but you can see how there are 2 bunks there, and again your wardrobes here and here. And then there is heads down here for the crew as well. So they get this. There's a separate shower compartment here. These of course just slide around. So a really good crew area, and this whole zone from the very bow of the boat right through, right up here, the mess area, the galley, all that, is all just a really nice, comfortable crew space. So we'll head on back and I'll show you the lower deck because that's where all the guest cabins are. And that's got a few surprises as well. So back in through here, you can see how lovely that is, can't you? And then we'll head on down these steps. And we'll head forward first of all. Get the impression of the size again when you come to these areas, don't you? Okay, so this is a VIP guest cabin, and a really good size it is too. I love these desk areas down here, or dressing areas, whatever you want to use them for. Some great places to tuck yourself away with a proverbial good book as well. And then again, a ton of storage. So big wardrobes here, for example. Storage all the way along here. You've got the bookshelves here as well. There we go, the hanging rails in there. And illuminated as well, that's nice. And another dressing area on this side. That, for a guest cabin, is lovely. And again, it's got that really homely feel to it, hasn't it? It's not sort of all super sharp corners and really modern materials. It's just a proper little ship feel. Very, very comfortable. Ensuite, of course, on this one. So you've got your sink, there's a separate shower, that's in there. And then storage along here. Toilet, heated towel rail, and so on. All the bits and pieces that you would expect. Oh, I like these little mirrors. Let's see if we can light that up. Hey, there we go. That's the perfect waving in a mirror, isn't it? Let's move on a bit further. So we come back through here. And what you've got then is two guest cabins. But I mentioned she has had a couple of secrets. And what you've got in here, you've got the two single beds, but there's actually a Pullman berth there. That one's reasonably obvious. Less obvious is that one as well. And so you can lift these up, that cantilevers up level. You can see the supports for it actually here. You take these little plugs out and then there's hooks to hook those on. And it means that for kids, you know, they can bring their friends along. They've got just a brilliant, brilliant den down here. I mean, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? This, again, you've got wardrobe in here as you would expect. You can see this is the kids' cabin actually. Look at these little life jackets. That's so sweet. And again, a similar sort of thing. Over here, that's just shelving in that one. And then you've got this area as well, which of course is the ensuite to this cabin. And I've just remembered, just looking at those towels in there, there is a washing machine. People say, well, where's the laundry facilities? They're in the galley. And the reason I didn't show them to you is very simply because I forgot. But there is a washer dryer in there. That's more than one, obviously full-size domestic. If we go into this side, exactly the same deal. You've got the two single beds. You've got the Pullman that lifts up on that side, another one that drops down on that side. Again, just a brilliant kids' den, really, isn't it? I mean, obviously, it's perfectly good size for adults. I mean, you've got masses of headroom all the way through here. But, you know, you use it how you like. And with those Pullmans, that's particularly, I think, a particularly nice thing for the kiddies. Ensuite in there. Shower and so forth, very similar to the one that we just looked at. And again, you've got the hanging lockers in there. And then if we come back again, owner's cabin. And as you'd expect, really comfortable, lovely size. It's the full beam of the boat. Lovely spot. The dressing area over here, or a desk if you want to work here, of course, it's perfect for that. And there's a very similar sort of thing on the other side. Beautifully lit, and then ensuite like so. So the shower, and it's just obviously a bit bigger than the other ones, but a very similar sort of deal. Excellent. So we'll wander over to the other side. One thing I did quite like, this of course as you'd expect is wardrobes and storage and so on like that. There is also a hat locker. I don't think I've seen a hat locker on a boat before. Check this out. Superb. And again, more storage all the way around here. That's a lovely cabin, isn't it? Okay, plenty more to see. So we'll push on up, back through this main passageway, back up these stairs. And what we'll do this time, that's back forward to that crew area. I'll show you that washing machine. I feel I'm failing you otherwise. Here we go. Ta-da! Right. Moving swiftly on. Okay. So there's the steps we just came up. But we will take a turn around this way, and this then will take us up to the pilot house. So it's a raised pilot house, really nice thing. All this has been upgraded along here, so it's obviously touchscreen navigation. And this one here, I don't know how well you can see this, is cameras. It's a camera system around the boat. But you can also go into this, and then you can go into, for example, tankage. Come around this way a bit, you can probably see the screen rather than me. There's quite a few reflections on the camera here, but you get the idea. You go into engine instrumentation, all that kind of stuff. That's all accessed from there. These are navigation, and then across here you've got things like the wind indications there. These are the throttle controls. You've got autopilot, you've got anchor winch, all the usual things that you would expect. And the largest printer I've ever seen on a yacht. And there's another area for the crew here as well. This is what I mean. It's just such a great boat to spend a long time on for both the guests and the owner and for the crew. That's a really, really nice area. We'll head on back. These are signal flags. So you can dress the boat overall if you want to, put them all up if you're like a regatta or something like that. Or if you want to send messages, but people tend to use the VHF radio these days for that. Upper helm. Up here on the flybridge, again you've got the repeaters for those navigation screens and engine instrumentation and so on, and again you've got all the Simrad stuff here, the autopilot, bow thruster control, throttles, all the things that you would expect to have. And then if we spin on round, more seating there. So again, brilliant place for people to gather, because you can sit, what, 3, 4 people across here, another couple of people there when you're underway, and you're raised up. You've got a tremendous view out from up here. You've got the bimini top on here as well, of course, for a bit of shade. But then just behind that is this lovely dining area and more seating over on this side. It's just such a comfortable boat. And then this is all, as you can see, freestanding furniture. So they've got sunbeds on here, but you can lay this out however you want, with whatever you want. And finally, the tender is up here as well. I think I'm right in saying a 4.2 metre tender, 40 horsepower Honda on that one. So great for ship to shore, great for doing a bit of exploring as well. Very nice. So that's a decent sized bridge, isn't it? Brilliant. Okay, we're going to go and take a turn around the decks, and then we're going to look at the engine room, and that'll be a pretty comprehensive, washing machine included tour. So back down here, and this time we will spin around this way, and we'll take a walk up to the bow. Love these super yacht overhangs as you walk down through here. These are all illuminated as well. They've got lights in them. And again, look at the quality of this stainless steel finish on these windows. It's real motor yacht stuff, isn't it? That's that side access door back into the main deck. So that takes you in just aft of the crew area, I think I'm right in saying. And if we come on up here, then you've got a lovely sunbathing area. You've got deck gear. Lives down in places like this. And then right up to the bow, you've got your twin anchor winches on this one. And again, some pretty serious deck equipment, the bollards and the fairleads and so on. Another nice little area tucked right up here in the bow. Good morning, Palmer. Lovely. Look at that. Gorgeous, isn't it? Okay, let's press on back. This has all been repainted during the refit, by the way. So they didn't just do the new composite teak. This whole thing was completely repainted. That's why it looks, well, it looks a year or two older. It certainly doesn't look the age that it is. This is the door that we saw from the galley area. So that's back into there. And then we'll press on back again. And the final thing to show you then is the engine space. So we'll come right on back. And the access to that is down here. I will just show you actually, since we didn't see it when we came on, but the bathing platform also is back here. You can see there's a lovely staircase down to it there. And this is the passerelle that extends out from here. This then takes us down to the lazarette and the engine space. So we'll hook that one up. Okay. There we go. So really lovely big space down here. You can see there's a workbench down here with a vice on it. You've got things like the bikes live down here. That door there takes you straight out to the bathing platform. So if you want to have things like sea bobs, you wouldn't have to drag them up the ladder and then down to the platform. You could just take them straight out. But a very nice area. That's the mechanism for that passerelle that we saw extended, which actually walked across to get onto this fine ship in the first place. You've got obviously things like all your circuit breakers and that kind of stuff is down here. There's also water purification on here. There's a water maker on here. There's even sewage purification. So it's a very, very self-sufficient boat. And this then is the engine space. Now this is a strictly displacement cruising boat. It's not designed for high speed. It's designed for distance. It's the sort of thing that cruises very comfortably at about 10 knots. And maxes out at 12. And because it's not a planing boat, you don't have to lift it out of the water and push it across the top. You can run it on some pretty small and economical engines. These are Cummins engines. They're 400 horsepower each. And the big news with these is that when you're cruising at that 10 knots, she's only using about 85 litres an hour. So that is tremendous. She holds about 15,000 litres. So that's giving you, according to my calculations, I might be wrong, but I worked it out at about 1,800 miles. So you've got some pretty serious distance out of this, and that's great, not just because you might want to go a long way, but it also means you're not having to constantly refuel. And the interesting thing about these, people sometimes say, well, 10 knots, that's not that much, is it? It's a funny thing, because we had a charter on a Sunseeker 76 recently. It was a 30 knot boat, and we spent 3 days and covered 140 miles, and we never went over 10 knots once. Because down here in the Med, that's all you do. You go out, you set your speed, you set your destination, and you enjoy being on the boat. So those are absolutely ideal. And these were fitted during the refit. So these are 2018, I think I'm right in saying. And apparently they've got, I think, something like less than 400 hours on them. So they're pretty much new, really, aren't they? What else have we got down here? Generators down here. So there's a big generator here, and there's also a Fisher Panda that's been installed. Again, that's quite a new one. What else have we got? She's got stabilization. So that's this fella here, that's controlling the stabilizers. What else can I show you? See things like engine vents and that kind of stuff. As I mentioned, she's got, well, in fact, there it is. That's the water maker over on this side. So reverse osmosis desalination, that's giving you fresh water straight out of the sea. These chaps here, which I originally thought might be hot water tanks, aren't. They're exhausts, which is completely obvious as soon as you realise what they are, because they're connected to the engines. But so big silencers on the engines as well. But that is a pretty decent engine room. I mean, like the rest of the boat, it's comfortable. You can come in here, you can work, you can get to everything. It's great. So there we go. That is a very lovely thing. I am going to... Do you know what? Let's finish it here. That'll do, won't it? Huge thanks to Ocean Independence for organising that tour. Huge thanks, of course, to you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of that one. I think that's a beauty. I really do. And we'll catch you on another one of these real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.